Today I will answer some of the Node.js interview questions which they asked so many times in the in frequent interviews. So I will explain in my way. And the first question is, what is Node.js and how does it differ from other server-side technologies like Apache or PHP? And the answer is, Node.js is a server-side runtime environment that uses JavaScript for building scalable and high-performance applications. It differs from server-side technologies like Apache by PHP in that it uses a event-driven, non-blocking architecture, allowing it to handle concurrent connections efficiently. Node.js is a well suited for real-time applications, while Apache by PHP is typically used for traditional web applications. And the second question is, what is callback function in Node.js and why are they commonly used in asynchronous programming? And the answer is, a callback function in Node.js is a function passed as an argument to another function, and it gets executed when the latter function has completed its task. They are commonly used asynchronous programming to handle asynchronous operations like reading files and making network requests. Callbacks help manage the flow of asynchronous code by ensuring that certain actions only occur after the asynchronous task has finished, preventing the blocking of the main program thread. And the third question is, what is the purpose of the package.json file in a Node.js project? Can you explain the key properties found in these files? And the package.json file in a Node.js project has several purposes: dependency management, version control, skip definitions. The package.json file is a crucial for managing dependencies, documenting a project, and automating common development tasks. And fourth question is, why explain the difference between the require and the import statements in Node.js. When and why would you use one over the other? Require I will answer this question. Require package, this is the common JS way of importing modules in Node.js. It's a synchronous operation and is used for loading modules at runtime. You typically use require in Node.js when you want to load modules dynamically or conditionally. Import, this is the ES6 way of importing modules and is used with the hastic module setting in Node.js. It's an asynchronous and supports static module imports. You use import when you want to take advantage of ES6 modules features like tree shaking, especially in projects using ES6 modules throughout. And the fifth question is, what is middleware in the context of Express.js? Can you give an example of how you would use middleware in Express.js applications? And the answer is, the middleware can process request object multiple times before the server works for that request. Middleware can be used to add logging and authentication functionality, data parsing, and error handling. Express middleware refers to a set of functions that executes during the processing of HTTP requests received by an Express application. Example, after you import Express middleware into the code, then in order to use the methods available in Express.js app.use, we can also modify app.get methods that can include next, async, etc. And the sixth question is, what is RESTful API and how can you create one, use Node.js and Express.js? Explain the main HTTP modules used in RESTful APIs. A RESTful API, there RESTful means a representational state transfer API, is an architectural style for designing networked applications. It uses a set of constraints and principles to create a stateless communication between client and server. RESTful APIs are designed around resources which are represented by URLs, as they use standard HTTP methods for operations on these resources. And the HTTP methods are get used to retrieve data from the server, post used to create a new resource on the server, put use it to update a resource I create. If it does not exist, delete. Use it to delete a resource. And the seventh question is, what is the purpose of the Node Package Manager (NPM) and how do you use it to manage dependencies in a Node.js project? The answer is, an NPM is the basically the NPM is the package manager for the Node JavaScript platform. It puts modules in place so that Node can find them and manages dependency conflicts intelligently. NPM can install all the dependencies of a project to the package.json file. It also update and uninstall packages. To use NPM, we need to run certain commands like npm init for initializing and creating a package.json files. And the eighth question and the last question is, why is it important to hash passwords in a web application? And the simple answer is by providing by and also increasing security purpose we're using password hashing. Web applications include sign up and login functionalities, and it also gets the data from the user. If we ever store the data of the user in a database, let's say FileStore database, and the passwords of the user accounts are directly stored in the database. If the admin's database get hacked, then the user's data is also hacked. So if we use password hashing in developing from getting hacked, this ensures the security for the user's data. These are the questions I answered in these